Well, good afternoon. Greg Earney, Managing Director of the Methven Professionals Real Estate Group. I thought I would take just a couple of quick moments just to share with you what's happening in the real estate space following the announcement on Sunday of further ongoing restrictions. To give you a bit of an idea, at this stage, until the 26th of October, all inspections for properties for sale and for rent can only be conducted online. So still no private inspections, unfortunately, allowed at this point in time. We are still able to sell property. We are still able to rent property though. So the point I'm making is actually this week we did sell one property sight unseen to a purchaser. So buyers, just because you can't inspect a property, or tenants, just because you can't inspect a property as well, doesn't mean you can't purchase or lease that property. We have let 12 rental properties sight unseen so far during this lockdown period as well. And also buyers, I guess if there is a property there that you like, just don't think that the property will still be there for sale come the end of October when physical inspections are allowed, because you never know, there might be another buyer that's prepared to purchase the home sight unseen. So with the announcement on Sunday that the lockdown was being extended, and as far as real estate, no inspections allowed till the 26th of October, it has unfortunately put a lot of consumers, a lot of buyers and a lot of sellers under some serious stress and hardship. Case in point, I'm aware of a vendor that has recently sold. They sold on a long settlement, sold their family home, and are now looking to buy their next home. They sold just prior to us going into lockdown. And if you think about it now, with no inspections allowed to the 26th of October, there's very little new listings coming onto the market, if any, at the moment. In a nutshell, those vendors have lost 3 months of being able to look to find their next property. And with a looming settlement, they're starting to get real nervous as to whether they're going to be able to buy a property or they may have to rental property in the meantime. But even that's not easy because there's not a great deal of rental properties available. And the other flip side to that is I'm aware of a number of people that have also recently purchased. They bought just prior to lockdown. They bought with a long settlement and with the view of being able to then place their home for sale and look to get their home sold in that gap and be able to settle at the same time. And now once again, with this looming settlement period fast approaching, they haven't been able to get their property on the market. And by the time we get to the 26th of October, they've lost 3 months that they've been able to get their home on the market. There really is a lot of people that are under pressure and hardship as a result of this unfortunate extension. The REIV is campaigning and doing a lot of work in the background at the moment, trying to see if there's any way that there can be some easing of inspections and to be able to help consumers get through this time period. It is a real worry and a real concern, and I applaud the REIV for what they're doing. The Methven organisation, we've also contacted and written to our local members, James Molino, David Hodgett and Bridget Falance, our local members around us here, and highlighted the plight to consumers and our concerns, and asking if there's anything that they can do to try to see if we can free up some inspections. The other concern that we've got as well is the announcement last week of the state government bringing in that tenants aren't allowed to be evicted on a rental property until the 31st of March. Now, I just want to make a point that the Methven organisation, we manage close to 2,500 rental properties, so we've got 2,500 landlords that we look after, but also we've got 2,500 tenants. They're all our clients, and no one wants to see any tenant being evicted, certainly not in the circumstances that we're on. And look, we applaud the state government for taking steps to look after and assist tenants. However, we're extremely concerned that while they're trying to look after tenants and help tenants, and it's all great to be able to say that no tenant can be evicted till the end of March, and as I say, we're not about evicting tenants, not at all. We are concerned though, and I'm aware as an example of a landlord where currently their tenant hasn't paid rent for a number of months, and that particular landlord is owed over $6,000 in rent. Now, keeping in mind the landlord's still got a mortgage to pay, They've still got outgoings, they've still got rates, they've got insurance, they've got maintenance, they've got everything else that's attributable to the owning an investment property. But at this stage, not having any rent, they have been to the tribunal, and at this stage have had no luck in being able to get the tenant to come in and pay rent, but also, or even move that tenant on so they can find someone else. Once again, the REIV is campaigning heavily to the state government to see what measures can be taken to not only look after the tenant, but to also make sure that while we're looking after the tenant, that the landlord, it's not to their detriment. And I think there needs to be a little bit of fairness there, and I applaud the REIV for really going into bat to try to see what fairness they can bring in to that equation. And once again, our organisation have also written to our local members highlighting our concerns. And at the end of the day, everyone, they're all people. The landlord and tenant, they're all people, they're all families, they're all local families and people, and everyone needs to be considered in this. And while the tenant may have lost their job, or the tenant may have been on reduced income, so well could the landlord may be on reduced income, may have lost their job, still got a family mortgage to pay on their family home and also their rental property. So we really do hope there is a bit of fairness and some adjustment brought into that. The other big question that's on everybody's lips is, how is the market? What's the market going to be? Look, all I can say at this stage is we think the market, when we are allowed to do inspections from the end of October, will rebound fairly quick. We've got a number of keen buyers that are booked in, and we're booked in to see homes from next week, but obviously we've had to put those inspections back. We've got many sellers that are lined up and ready to come onto the market. So our expectation is that we would feel that come the end of October, the market should rebound strongly, and things should pick up fairly quick. And we do advise any potential sellers, anyone thinking that's selling, we feel that the market will favour those that are prepared and can come onto the market quickly. Keeping in mind, by the time we get to the end of October, we're also then November, and then we're into that December period. So I think if you're looking to sell, contact any of our team, and we can certainly help you plan and be prepared so you're ready to hit the market and hit the ground running when we're able to do those inspections. Finally, on behalf of the Methven team, we wish everybody well. Our 4 offices are available. If there are any landlords, if there's any tenants, if there's any buyers or sellers that are under any hardship like what I've mentioned in this report, you're welcome to contact me personally, 0438 305 687. You can speak to any of our team, and as I say, if you need, contact your local member of Parliament and highlight the concerns and the hardship you're facing, because there is a lot of stress out there, we're aware of it, and unfortunately at the moment, by not being able to do inspections, it really is compounding the pressures. And even just today, my phone's being used, but today I received a text message from a client, and the lines of that text message was, "Hey Greg, we're getting a bit nervous. We haven't been able to find any properties, and unfortunately now we're not going to be able to go and look at homes till the end of October. And with our looming settlement, we're getting really nervous about where we're going to live." That's the sort of stuff that we're talking about. So hopefully there will be some assistance and hopefully a few tweaks to the restrictions. We wish everyone well. Stay safe. As I say, our team's available if you need. Contact us anytime, and we look forward to hopefully catching up with you in person sooner rather than later. Thanks for watching.